Hi, what's up? Um, yeah, I've got a pretty well-established corp now, and I get a lot of new members. So I thought it'd be a good idea to make a video for brand new alpha clone members on the best way to, well, not probably. I don't like to use the word best because it's just there is no best this, best that. A really good way of making ISK and earning yourself enough ISK to buy enough Plex for Amiga, which you need for the more advanced skills and to progress more than level tech 7. So, um, you're going to want to start off doing the advanced tutorials. I'm using an alt right now, so this alt is fairly new. Well, I barely use it. Um, the tutorial will, well, it'll give you a faint idea of how to play the game at the most basic level, but it's the rewards that you're after, so it gives you skill points so you can level up that bit quicker. And also it'll get you I think it may even get you a cruiser, but it'll get you a destroyer, which should be good enough to do your encounters. And but if you join my corp or have joined my corp, I'm probably just going to buy you something like this, a Vexor. Bearing in mind you already got onto T5. If you're below T5, you can still do this in a destroyer. I've actually got a corporate. Well, it's yeah. And what I always do when I first log on is filter my bookmarks to sort by distance, and so the nearest stuff to you is right at the top. I got two of the same here because I've saved it twice, so I've set one of them as my. Anyway, this is where my corp one of my corp bases are. It's located here. It's not far from Jita, which is around that area. Jita is the main trade hub in the game, where you want to sell and buy stuff. I'm just going to quickly show you that I have a corp hangar that's freely open to all my members, and it has faction modules in there, so higher meta level than Mark 3, Mark 5 that you'll be using when you first start off. And you don't need Amiga for these modules either. So you go into the inventory, scroll down, and you got all these hangars. Well, you won't have access to these hangars, but you'll have access to hangar 3. And in here I put in all these faction modules. They're faction because they got this green triangle in the corner of the icon. It's like a meta level, what does it even say? Meta level 6, so it's better than Mark 5. Or Mark 6, technically this is, but yeah. Mark is the meta level. And all these stuff in here is great for your ship, like Vexor. It's got decent missiles. It's got mid slots. It's got low slots. It's got high slots. Yeah, I could do with restocking this, but in here you're going to find some very useful stuff. It can basically, you fit your whole ship for free right here. You know, this will, because you're not going to be able to make over 10-20 million very quickly and easily when you're first starting off. But anyway, so that's that. But like I said, I can buy you a Vexor with decent rigs and all that, so you're best equipped to deal with these storyline encounters, which I'm going to show you now. And to find these storyline encounters, you go to your news tab, normal, yeah, even if you can do advanced, I go with normal just because it makes it that bit easier. And go to your filter, and it will be set like this by default. But if you go to the filter and click rarity and hide completed jobs, it will bring up the unticked missions that you have not yet done. And if you click on your encounter, down here it says for freedom, and that's the storyline, like that you will unlock with the prerequisite storyline encounters. So these 3 blank here, there's 3 encounters you got to do to unlock for freedom. And for freedom, I don't actually recommend bothering with. I think anyway, I better, yeah, because it's not very valuable on the market. We want to go after the most valuable ones. But the good thing about this is you can do this AFK easy because it's mostly delivery missions, and then there'll be 1 combat mission. But if we come to the market, and I'll show you, go down to mission items. Here are the story scrolls that you unlock with these encounters. And yeah, I pretty much know. The ones you don't want to bother with, there's only 2 or 3, is super soft drink, because it's only worth around 10 million. You might think, oh, that's a lot. And it is a lot when you're first starting out. And if, you know, I also recommend maybe even doing that one if you don't have any of the others available to you at the moment, because that's the thing, these missions can be quite rare and they don't always show up in your news encounters. Business Magnate, however, is worth around 120 to 150. The market prices, they fluctuate, but yeah, generally around 120, 130. It says, well, that's the average weekly market price right there, 146 million, 146 million. Yeah, Modern World is another good one. Sweet Poison is one of the better ones. It's around 200 mil. Yeah, I wouldn't want to sell it any less than 170, but that 170 million is really good when you're first starting out. Super soft drink, yeah, I wouldn't even bother with that one. And for freedom, the one we have here, I wouldn't bother with this one either. So, but the other, disaster relief, is mainly a delivery mission. There'll only be 1 combat mission, so it's even easier, and it's worth around 150, 140 on the market. So look out for disaster relief and Martyr Reborn, and they're also within the same sort of area as where my Corp base is. Same with Angel and Devil, that's the best one to sell. It's usually on for a good 200 million, maybe even up to 220. And also Bad Hair Day, that's another really good one. These are the 2 best selling ones, Bad Hair Day and Angel or Devil. for patriotism, that's the other one you want to tend to just don't waste your time with unless you're really struggling to find them. It's still better than nothing, and it'll be probably pretty easy. You'll probably only have 3 encounters to do to unlock it. So there's only 3 you really want to avoid. It's super soft drink, for patriotism, for freedom, and super soft drink, which is there. Sweet poison is like the 3rd best. Sweet poison, bad hair day, angel or devil are the top ones, but disaster relief, martyr reborn, mega corporation, business magnate, modern world, or they're all mostly pretty good apart from these 3 here. Super soft. Anyway, so we have for freedom, but I have a refresh available, but I'm going to accept that. And basically what you're just going to have to, you can do this in a frigate, which I recommend, like a probe or something like that, because it's got a decent amount of cargo hold and it's faster, so it'll whiz round, it'll travel faster, and you can basically do it at AFK. But let's see what else we got. Okay, so I have an angel or devil one here, which is great. I've only got, the thing is with this one, yeah, it will earn you 200 million, but you've got to do, well, how many is there, like 7 or 8 encounters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 encounters. I've only got 2 more to do, so let's go do this one. I'm just going to cancel that a second and see, sort these supplies out. Yeah, okay. Another good way to earn, well, yeah, I can show you here. So there's an event going on at the moment, and you want to go into it and don't go to view mission. So you complete these tasks and you'll get points that will unlock rewards, but don't settle for the default ones because they'll be all random ones and it'll take a lot longer to level up. So destroy 25 NPC ships is a really good one, especially the 25, because that don't take too long, but there's not many points for it. But so yeah, click this icon on the far right, which is a refresh icon. Click refresh. Costs you 5,000 this, which, yeah, I mean, you might struggle to, you shouldn't, but you might. So you can either do total on, online, how long you're online for, which is a good one, but I don't recommend that one. I recommend the destroy NPC ships and click change. Change this reverse engineer, and also find one for encounters. Bounties, we're not going to be earning very good bounties at all. It's not about the bounties, it's about checking off those storyline encounters. Bounties at our level is just, it's going to take forever, so you could even go with online, but I'm going to look for encounters completed. Yeah, complete 2 encounters for 10 points. I'm going to do that one. And then change this one. You won't even have, if you're alpha, you won't even be able to complete this one because this is planetary production, which I'm not going to get into right now. I'm going to, any tips and tricks that I think of, I will bash out there's so many little things in this game that you learn over well, months sometimes, months and months, that you wish you knew before, basically. So I try and bash them out too. And just change it to that for now. So that'll better my chances of leveling up that bit quicker. And also do the same for Concord Pass as well, because this will also give you skill points and all kinds of nice stuff that you want. Some good rewards in there. So yeah, online, yeah, I want that. Change to that, and it's basically the same. It's the same thing going on here. Same kind of missions you can select. 8 encounters, change it to that. I can't even missing the button. Yeah, let's just go with that. Okay. So I got some Lazarus points. These are used to reset your skills, so you can gain back the skill points you put into a particular skill and then use it for another skill. So say you're trained into missiles and then you end up getting a ship that uses cannons because you want to fly that instead. You can claim back the skill points that you put into missiles and use it into cannons. Yeah, they're very useful. So let's get on with going to our first storyline encounter. Yeah, so, well, this is my corporation chat. There's 9 people online at the moment, so got 9 active members online right now. I don't have any. Yeah, I got 108 members at the moment. If you come over to corporation facility or assets, you can see where I have my bases. So if you're new and you want to know where the base is, or rob my Corp hangar, then this is how you do it. So you find it. So yeah, oh dear, I just clicked it. But that's where it is. So it'll come up. That's where we were. I better just cancel that. I didn't realize if I clicked it. I didn't even click on the. Anyway. And these are your up here. You can set your shortcuts. I got my encounters as a shortcut.
Autopilot engaged.
That's my skills, which I'm not training at the moment because I'm training on another account. You can only train one account at a time. See, I'm still alpha on it. I haven't bothered to give to. I don't really use this account, but it's useful sometimes to. Or when I do use it, I just use it for doing storyline encounters. So I won't be able to get. I won't be able to level up to tech level 8 without Amigo. And if I do bother to get Amigo on this account, what I will be doing is skilling into Planetary production, which is here. if you skill up to level 4 advanced, and just going to pause it. Yeah. So if you go into Planetary production, down here it will show planets that you can plant mining arrays on, and it's like a passive form of income. And if you find a planet with medium or higher plasmoids, like here, it's in high sec, so I don't even think, yeah, before you could actually mine planets as an alpha account, but you can't anymore. So that's why I have supposedly arrays on here, or did have, but it won't let me use them anymore because I don't have Amiga. But if you do, this is what you want to do. Is I have the locations of the best places to find these plasmoids, which sell the best, and you can use them as fuel for scanners and cloaks and stuff for yourself as well. But if you're up to level 4 advanced, it can actually pay for your Amiga, like easily. One planet maxed out with its yield. All you got to do is refresh it every 24 hours, and when it gets full, you'll have about 170 mil worth of plasmoids, and you can mine 6 planets, I think, with up to level 4 advanced. So you're easily affording Amiga for free, essentially, after you've so yeah, that's what I recommend. But this is later on when you've managed to. This video is about how to get Amiga the best possible way. Joining my Corp will be a big help, because my Corp, I like to help new players grow. I heavily invest. I say invest. I don't ask for anything back. What I just want to see you get established, and if you want, become an active member in my Corp. There's no rules, there's no obligations. You don't have to do. I'm not going to boss you around, do this, do that, meet me here, or tasks or anything like that. I mean, I can set corporation missions and stuff like that, which can be good, and do events and stuff, and fleet ups and all that stuff. Me buying you a Vexor and fitting it with some decent fit, isn't much skin off my nose, and it will help you out tremendously, because otherwise you're going to be grinding away for hours and hours, getting basically nowhere. So, it helps me sleep at night, so to speak. If you're in my Corp, I can sort you out a decent ship, so you're more independent. You can also join my fleets, and I can get you some ISK fast. I got a lot to offer in my Corp if you're an experienced player. But yeah, especially if you're a new player, because I'm established now in the game, not on this account, but on my main accounts. I got 2 T10 main accounts with alts, but I don't really use them. So my fitting, I do have faction drones which cost 100 million, but that was my main account. I didn't save up on this account to buy these. My main account basically bought this ship, fitted it, and bought faction drones. Just why not? You don't need them. You can just use your normal, because I've got Mark 5 drones here. I mean, I can actually use Mark 7, but I've got Mark 5, and that's fine for this job. This is going to take slightly longer to complete the encounter. The important thing is having enough defense to. I'll easily survive these encounters. They're very simple, and I'm not even doing advanced encounters. I'm doing normal, which is like T4, T5, just so it's even easier. The bounties are less, but it's not about the bounties what I'm doing. It's about ticking off those encounters, the right ones in the right line. There's no order to it or anything. It's just completing 5, 6, 7 encounters you've got to do to unlock that story scroll.
Warp drive active.
And yeah, because Avexa is very capable of doing these storyline encounters. I can't. Yeah. I was good. I didn't think I was getting. Anyway. So I'm using torpedoes. They offer the best DPS. This is basically a close range wall build. I'm just orbiting at like within 5 kilometers. And I'm just gonna blitz through this encounter. I got NOS just to help power my modules, especially the faction. Well, it says meta level 5, but this is better than a standard Mark 5 armor repairer. I mean, it's pretty cheap, but even like 150,000 ISK is, it's quite a lot of money for a T4, T5 person without, what am I? You get like 400,000 for completing an encounter at advanced level. I think something like that, 350 to 400. So, I mean, it's not that expensive, I guess. So you could easily do your own combat encounters and save up for a Vexor and fit it. You won't be able to afford, a Mark III or T3 tech level 3 drone speed augmenter, because that's over 100 million. But you don't need it. You can go for Mark 1 or Mark 2. It's fine. And I got a warp core optimizer, so I can warp even when I'm warp jammed, because some of the NPCs or even a real player that wants to do some PvP, a pirate comes to jump you and puts a warp disrupt on you. It means you can still warp out to safety before he kills you. So we're at the mission now. Okay, I'm just going to stop the engine. Okay, I didn't stop it in time. What I was going to show you was you don't need to just click accept and get warped in at 0 kilometer to the anomaly. You can select it from here. It'd be called what the encounter's called, in this case Angel Hunting Operation, and then hold and swipe. Hold on it and it brings up this, and you can swipe for range. So if you don't want to go to 0, then that's how you warp at range. I'm not a shield tank, so I'm armor tanking, so I got an armor hardener which increased my resistances on my armor, so I don't, it helps not needing to use the armor repairer as much, which will drain my capacitor. So it helps with defense and helps with your capacitor. And I have this Nosferatu. I don't even need to orbit or fly around. I can just sit here at 0. It's just easy. My drones probably need, so your drones need to be back in your ship. So if you click on them, any of them, and swipe up, you can go return, which just returns that one you've selected, or return all. which I'm going to do now. And then when they're all in the ship, I can tell that. I'm surprised I'm getting a batter in it. Anyway, I could have killed these by now, but so if you click on the drone, it'll tell you the optimal range of 6 kilometers, but I think they're going to vary because I've got different kinds of drones. So you want it within, so that's 5. I'm going to set it to 4, just so it's, and then you click on your ship, and then swipe and hold on set orbit for the drones, set it to 4. Because if they're too close, set to 1 kilometer, which they might be on as default, then they'll orbit closer and faster, and they'll they got tracking speed, so they'll track their target better and land more damage and better hits near their optimal range, because their angular velocity won't be as much when they're orbiting that little bit further up. And I have a drone damage amplifier here, which will increase my DPS even more, so it's at 139 at the moment. If I press it, it's now at, oh, that didn't go much, 480. It gives a passive damage boost of 15%, and then upon activation, time adjustment. Oh, so it increases my activation time of the drones by 200% when it's activated. So yeah, it just gives which increases their DPS. That's the DPS increase. I mean, it gives a flat normal default bonus passively, but when you activate it, it accelerates the firing rate of the drones, so I do more DPS, which is damage per second, and I could do it hitting the armor repairer, and I'm not even doing any damage. I've just completely wasted that drone damage amplifier because my drones weren't even active. What I can do is approach. I got it set to 5. That's fine because my Nosferatu has a range, and they're going to work best within 9 kilometers. They have a fall off, so they'll work up to like 15 kilometers just about. I don't really need to move, but if you want to fly around, I got a micro warp drive so I can get in range quick, and then when you're in range, just turn it off because it burns capacity. You don't need it on, and it increases your signature radius, making the ship a bigger target and easier to hit. So yeah, we're just about to finish off this stabber. Next wave. I mean, you can manually manage your targets, which one to go for first, but we're so well equipped to deal with this that we don't really need to fly that tactically. Sometimes you might want to pick off the smaller ships, the frigates and stuff, that are gonna webify you and maybe warp jam you and stuff like that. Like this is a frigate here. Deal with them first, you'll kill them quicker. But the bigger ship, it will lock onto the biggest ship first, and it's going to be doing probably the most damage to you. So it's not a bad idea to take it out first. Just turn off my micro warp drive. I'm just gonna hold it, observe, and then I just want to reset the camera. Turn on the drone damage amplifier. So when I've completed this, you want to try. Okay, I've got 6 minutes left to refresh. So yeah, these are the missions you got to do. These are the encounters. One of them will be in low sec and will be a bit harder. It's probably this one here. It will take you to low sec and it will probably be a little bit harder to complete. So you're going to have to probably warp in at range, and I can show you a technique, if this isn't the last wave, to deal with quite hard content. You know, stuff you can't just warp to 0 on and just do it basically semi-FK. I'm getting out of range here. My drone range is 35 kilometers, that's not too bad. To be able to use, yeah, when you're first starting out in a Vexor, and why a Vexor? Because while drones are really good, you don't need, they basically just, they're pretty autonomous, you know, they're going to hit the targets, the frigates, everything, with some weapon types like cannons, railguns, lasers. The reason why they're a bit more of a pain to use is because to hit the small frigates that are going to be orbiting you, in order to even just hit them, you're going to need Weber fires and all of that. With drones, you don't need any of that. So you can have like Nosferatu, for example, which is just going to help your capacitor and help you heal more, and it's great. Yeah, so what you can do if you're like, if you're struggling, you know, and this ain't a complete breeze for me, I'm not struggling, but you know, I am webified. So what you can do is basically use approach, get out of the range, and pick them off one by one. So the further out you get, the smaller, faster moving ships are going to catch you up first, and you basically just pick them off one by one. And it means you're not taking any beating from the ships. And you let them catch you up. You let them come to you, because the fast movers, notice how these guys here are separate. You don't want to be in the middle of all the rats surrounding you. That's when you can take the most damage. So you can set your approach to on the edge of your range, like 30 kilometers. My torpedoes have a short range. If you have normal missiles, you'll have like a 30 kilometer range. So you set it just below that, just so you're always in your range, and then and then just use approach. Micromanage your modules. If you don't need it on, don't keep it on, because it just drains your capacitor. I don't need these. My Nosferatu is out of range, so it's just going to drain my. I'm going to put it back on because it's pretty much in range now. It's catching me up, this frigate, but it's just a frigate. I'm in a cruiser. It's not going to do much damage to me other than web me and put some nasty E-war on me, but it's not really a problem. They'll kill it quick. So I'm not even taking any damage now. I'm well out of the range of these guys. Get back in range. And they are slowly making their way to me, but now kind of the slower movers are right, it don't really matter what I was gonna say. And just, you know, whoever's closest to you, just approach them. And, you know, if they're catching you up, and then use your micro warp drive, and most likely you're gonna be able to maintain that range. My drones aren't firing on them because I was out of the command range, so I've got to activate them again. Just select focus fire. And my shield's regaining now because I'm not even taking pretty much. They're shooting at me, but they're not even really doing any damage. So this is a great way. You can do quite hard content like with this technique by, you know, warping in at like 100 kilometers or 70, you know, within 70 kilometers of the anomaly. Sit still, let the fast movers come to you, pick them off, and then the slow movers will be, they'll still be, you might have to go to them then, because they're not going to catch you up very quick. And you can just pick them off one by one, just don't get surrounded. That's when you, if you're doing something difficult, that's when you're going to get killed. And most systems will have combat anomalies. These aren't your encounters. These are basically NPC combat sites. You can warp to them and you can do as many as you want and they'll keep spawning. But the base, you know, it can be tough. T2 one, not really, but a T4, a level 4 base at our level is gonna, it's doable, especially with the technique I'm showing you, where you use approach at the end of your range and pick them off one by one, letting them come to you. See, my shield is just regenerating. I'm not even taking. You can do these missions without even taking any damage, and then you could just fit another drone damage amplifier and have even more DPS. But I fit to just deal with it, sat at 0, nice and easy. I'm no faffing around with range and all that. Okay. So now we have a refresh, and now we have Modern World. That's an okay one. I think that's going for more than 10 mil, and it's a delivery. Well, it's some of them are delivery. I bet there'll be 1 or 2 combat missions, but the delivery, that's great because you don't even have to do anything. And the other one was a combat one. I think this one, no, not that one. Yeah, this is a combat one, and it's for Business Magnate, which is worth 140 mil. And look, you've only got to do 4. You might do this most of the day and not unlock any story mission. It might seem not getting anywhere, but give it a few days, you're going to have one or 2 missions left on each of the storylines. And one day, after 2, 3 or 4 days, maybe even less, you'll unlock 2 or 3 story scrolls, and you'll have like 500 million. You'll be able to sell it for 500 million. And I reckon easily within a week you can save up $1 billion ISK, which is a heck of a lot for an alpha. And it costs about, for Amiga, costs about 1.2 to 1.3 billion. If you're in my Corp, I can help you out as well. Yeah, I can give you expensive items to sell and put it in the Corp hangar for you. So let's go to, it's 16 jumps away here. You can see that here, 16 jumps. And this is the destination, and the numbers at the end, 09 for example here. 09 to like 05 is high security, where you can't be attacked by the players. 04 to 01 is low sec, and then the minus figures is null sec. But yes, so that's probably not a good idea. This one is closer. It's 12 jumps, so do the closest ones first. I mean, I got this delivery one here.
Autopilot engaged. Warp drive active.
I was gonna have a drink of my coffee. Yeah, these missions might be, they'll be doable in a destroyer that you will get for free. You can get quite a good one, like through
Warp drive active.
the tutorial, or you can grind your encounters. But the thing is, if you haven't got a cruiser like this, you're not going to be making much with your encounters. But if you're in my Corp, I'm just going to buy you either a decent destroyer if you can't yet fly a cruiser, or a cruiser like this. I'll probably pretty much fit it the same way. I mean, yeah, this is, you know, let's see how much this is worth. But I've got faction drones which are worth like over 100 million. What am I doing? That's not the right one. Insurance. Yeah, it's saying an estimated price is 336 million. The ship itself is only worth, what's it worth? Yeah, about 40 million. I mean, you can put a buy order on and get it for 18 or whatever it's at the moment. Yeah, so 40 million. It's not going to be easy to get when you're in like a frigate or a destroyer and you're using really bad modules like Mark 3, Mark 5, and you don't know how to play, and you're not familiar with the game. But if you're in my Corp, or even if you're not, ask for help. And also what I recommend is watching, there's so many guides on every aspect of this game already on YouTube. Even the ones that are 3-4 years out of date, I still recommend watching. They're really good. But there's still going to be a ton of stuff in there, little tips such as filtering your bookmarks. I mean, you don't have to do this. Filtering your bookmarks to show nearest at the top, sort by distance, which is really handy because if you're like basically living in a system, if you're always in one system, or even if you're not, you know, if you want to safely walk back to the station in the system, if you're getting destroyed in a combat anomaly or somebody jumps you can just have it ready on autopilot the station and click one button and you're warping out to safety. So here I just collect, I've already got it in my crates of garbage is what we're delivering. So yeah, it basically, like I said, all you got to do is dock up, click what it says, and then go to the next station, and then you'll have to click. Yeah, you can actually choose not to give it to the person that wants it. It's not an actual person, it's just a in-game sort of, yeah, you're not delivering to a real person. Nobody's ordered this. You can do that, but nobody uses that. Yeah, there is interstellar delivery where you can actually do delivery missions for actual players that want something delivered, and you can buy a hauling ship and do all that. But unfortunately, it's not very well paying, and it never really caught on, and nobody uses it. So there's never any deliveries. So yeah.
Warp drive active.
But these storyline delivery missions are great because, like I said, it's really easy. There'll only be one combat mission. And if it's in low sec, then don't worry about that either, because there's protocols you can take to minimizing the risk of getting jumped by a pirate and getting killed. And you might notice this tab here, this local tab. If you're in low sec, or null sec, you will want this open. This is the most important thing, your first line of defense, because this will show you who's in the system with you. I'm in low sec right now, actually, traveling through low sec in this game is absolutely fine. You cannot be attacked at the gates or the stations. I have a custom overview here. The default one isn't very good. I got a custom one here. But yeah, so I'm going to pause it a sec. So you got the gates in the system, and these blue things here are the sentry gate guns. And if somebody attacks you, there'll be a criminal in low sec. There is some security. It's low security. There's still security in null sec. No security. There isn't these gate guns to protect you. Do not click focus fire, otherwise this will happen. And if you don't cancel it, you'll lock on and shoot it and get destroyed instantly. So yeah, this is the sentry. I didn't think it looked like that. I think they... that's pretty cool. I haven't seen one that looks like this before. So yeah, and these have a range of 2,500 kilometers, so you can be way out in the distance, and as long as you're within, well, it's actually within the range of the gun. Yeah, 2,500 kilometer, you're safe-ish, because if you're like 2,400 kilometers away, and the pirate is outside of the range, they can still lock and have good range to shoot you. They can still lock onto you and kill you. So you're not completely safe. And a Sciency carrier has like 500 kilometer range, so you don't want to be you don't want to be near the outer edges. Anyway, you're not going to be anyway unless you're drifting, but traveling through, you're going to be warped to within a few kilometers of the gate. So this is kind of irrelevant detail right now. I'm just telling you that it's safe to travel through low sec, and why it is and why it potentially isn't. Same with the stations. So there isn't any stations in this system, but there are T4 bases which can earn you some good amount of ISK, but they're difficult, you know. I mean, I know how to play this game. I'm probably going to get killed right now, but you know, I'm experienced. So, but I do. This is pretty risky because these have webs and scrams, and I've got no afterburner. Which, if I'm warp scrammed, I can't use my micro warp drive, which allows me to get range really quick. But this is a good example of how to do hard tier content. The first wave ain't that bad. So to sit here, I'm like, what, 70 odd kilometers from the anomaly. You're going to notice all these fast movers, fast frigates. They're coming at me now. Let them come to you. Maybe even just get some more distance. They drop, some of them, they drop T4 debris. I'll show you what that is when I kill some of them. That are worth up to like, or even more, 200,000 ISK each to sell on the market, and you get loads by doing, even just, you can farm T4 anomalies in Angel Space where I'm at now, or Amar as well. They basically, the Amar ones and Angel ones sell the highest on the market. You can check that from the market prices. So I'm going to stop and let them catch me up. See, so this block of rat here, this block of, we call these NPCs rats. Ratting is like doing combat anomalies. It's just a term we use. So you go to your, I mean, rats. I mean, I just use loot because I'm going to be looting as well. So there, I need to start attacking them now. Get my normal hardener on, or there you. If you want to save that little bit more capacity, you could put it on, you know, just before your shield runs out. So I don't really need it on right now because I'm still in my shield. This outer ring here is my shield. What you see there going down is my shield, and then you got the armor, and then you got your hull. This blue one here is your capacitor, which you probably figured out by now because you'll probably be doing your tutorials. If I was at 0 right now, I'd probably still be okay. I'd be fine. But it's when you get to wave 4 and 5, that's when a lot of the elite NPCs with nasty EOR. See out here, I'm being webified, which slows me right down and scrambles, so I can't warp out. But I do have a rig that allows me to still warp out. This one right here, the Warp Core Optimizer. You know, it's quite expensive, this Mark III one, T3 one, but they've gone down in price actually. They used to be a lot more, but I can still warp. Now somebody's popped into local, so that's kind of, and if I don't think it's a real player, I think it's just a bot. But you want to just warp out. So and you want to have something on autopilot, a safe place, your next destination or the gate or the station. You want to have it on autopilot ready, so you can just press play and warp out to safety. I'm going to loot these wrecks. So here, I think they've gone down in price, but you can click on it and see what it's at going on the market. So you can sell one of these for just under 140,000 ISK, which is really good when you have quite a lot of them to sell. So it's actually more profitable to farm these T4 anomalies. You can do these in high sec in a 0.5 sector. You don't have to be in low sec to find T4. I recommend finding ones in high sec and just farming the T. It'd be more than your normal encounters, but I recommend doing the storyline encounters, very specific ones. But if you don't have any to do on your refresh, which you should try and keep tab on, you know, every half an hour, you're going to be able to get another refresh. I'm just going to loot these up and carry on to my encounter. But it's good practice to keep an eye on your local, and if somebody comes in, because it could be a pirate, you got about 10 seconds to get the hell out of there before they can scan your location and warp to you and kill you. You know, and we're very vulnerable at this level. I could, you know, make it. I might not edit this video. Well, there's a few reasons. When I upload a raw video recording, it's actually better quality than running it through an editor and processing it through the editor, and it uploads a lot faster than an edited video for some reason. If I upload it straight from my raw recordings, it uploads like 20 times faster. And there's so much I can talk about that there's no really any point in editing and only, you know, clipping in relevant gameplay bits, you know. I mean, there's plenty of things I can be telling you about. So yeah, I'm going to do another delivery mission to unlock it'll another highlighted green. You know, I'm going to unlock another sequence here. Yeah, I've got 3 of these to get on with right now. So before I've even managed to finish these, I'm going to have a refresh, and there'll be some more come up. When you complete a whole line, when you do that last one, which completes the whole line, it could be any. There's no set order. One of them will be an expensive. I think I'm not sure about on normal level encounters, but there might be an encounter where you earn 30 million to complete it, and it might be in low sec, and it might be a little bit harder, but it's still very doable if you use range. You know, warping at range, let them come to you, the fast movers, take them out, and just basically use your approach, pick them off one by one, and you probably won't even take any damage, barely any, if you really, you know, pilot well. Not even have to be that well, and it's pretty easy just approaching the rat nearest to you first. So it'll be at the top of the list. The nearest is always at the top, and you just click approach on it. Bearing in mind you've set your approach. You might need to go into your settings, battle settings. Yeah, kind of make sure you got auto lockback. I mean, there are useful uses to having lockback on and auto orbit on, but when you're doing something fairly difficult and you want to be careful, don't have automatic lockback on, because you might need to target specific ships and take them out first. And if you're trying to unlock, because you can only unlock onto so many at a time, if you're trying to unlock one and lock onto another, it'll automatically lock the ones you don't want to be prioritizing, and it's just a pain in the ass. And if you've got auto orbit on, I don't have one set by optimal. Yeah, I think you want it by default. If you have, yeah, you want it set to default, so that'll be what you set it as. I think if you have it set by optimal, it will be a default range. It's kind of, you'd think it'd be the other way around, but if you want the default range you set and not the game set, then click default. Auto attack, you want that on, otherwise you'd have to keep activating your weapons at every target. Yeah, and auto attack next target, that should already be on, but you might have this on. You want that off, because that can get you killed, because it can drag you back into range where you don't want to be, and start orbiting, and you'll be surrounded, and yeah, it's just, you get yourself into trouble with that. Wait a minute, let me just, why isn't it? Oh, okay, I completed that mission. 16 gems. 20 gems. Oof. For freedom. Yeah, that's not. I shouldn't really. If you've got, if you've got to travel 60 gems and it's for freedom, this one's much better to prioritize, because your business magnate is worth a lot more. And I'll have a refresh shortly. Yeah, this is going to be a long video, but it's there's a lot to talk about and explain, and there's a heck of a lot of tips that I can give you. So you kind of, this ain't like a full in-depth all you need to know guide, but I'm gonna try and explain it so you got a good goal, good idea of what to do when you first basically start the game. You're gonna want to probably do the tutorial and also watch beginner guides just to familiarize yourself even more. And yeah, just don't willy-nilly start doing your normal encounters, because if you have it set to like this, loads will come up, and yeah, you get like 45,000 for completing a normal encounter. I mean, you could probably do it advanced, but for this purpose, keep it on as low as possible. You might even be able to, I haven't even tried, it's kind of almost like too good to be true almost. I haven't even tried beginner. You might even be able to unlock these story scrolls through beginner missions. I might actually give that a go, because that's even better. But I got it on normal because I kind of like, it almost seems like you're taking the piss. It's almost too easy. But if you can do beginner and unlock these story scrolls, you're laughing, because you could do that in your frigate and destroyer that you get for free. You know, try not to use Mark III modules, because that's just gonna, you want the best modules you can use, which are those green faction ones. And you're gonna, if you're in my Corp, you're either gonna have a ship bought and fitted for you, or you can go to my Corp hangar and help yourself. Just, you know, don't greedy, don't take 10 of the same thing, because you don't need to, and it leaves some for others. Or you could be a complete jerk and rob the lot and then leave the corporation, but which has happened to me, because you know I'm open to being robbed, but I don't stack the hangar that's available to all my members with hundreds and hundreds of £1,000,000 worth of stuff for that reason. You know, it's basically, I don't care if it gets robbed. In a way, it's like you won't be doing yourself any favors. A quick short-term game of robbing the Corp for 100 million, you might think, oh, that's worth it. Yeah, I just rob him of 100 million stuff and leave the Corp. But you're gonna lose out in the long term, because the Corp is you're gonna get a lot more out of the Corp than the 100 million from the hangar. You're gonna benefit a lot more staying in the Corp. And also, you ruin your reputation. I'm not just gonna, I know who you were. I got a corporation log of who takes what and when, how much they take out of the hangar, what they put in, what they take out. I know who robs me, and then I know who you are, and now you ruin your reputation, because any Corp you join after that, I'm gonna message their CEO and tell them what a scumbag you are. So, but most people are good people, and I'll just call you out in help chat, which is like the public chat everyone can see. This monstrosity here, they call it hell chat, because it's just like the same retard spewing the same nonsense for years. Just gonna share, why not, you know, share the corporation in help chat to, you know, help recruit more people. So there, I've just, that's, you can click that now, it brings up the corporation, and you can apply to join. Yeah, looking for new players to help grow. I supply ships, mods, modules, ISK, and teach you for a great start. You know, it's, yeah, I've helped out a lot of people on here, like 50, 60, 70 new alpha players. I've really put a lot of effort into helping, and they've been very loyal and stayed in the Corp. Pretty much nearly all of them. Everyone in the Corp that's joined has stayed. It's fine if you want to, I want you to be in the Corp that you want to be in, that suits you and what you, the content that you're looking for. I'm basically I'm a high sec and low sec Corp. I don't have sovereignty in null, so you might want to be in a null sec Corp, but it's a lot less casual. You're probably going to be obliged or obligated to do things. Have used Discord. I mean, I've got Discord, but it's not a requirement. It's not a requirement to be over like Tech 7 and have Amiga. They don't like brand new players, big null-sec corps and alliances. They don't want new players because they assume that you're a spy, basically, or some kind of spy, like a brand new account. People just assume it's a spy or someone's alt, So, and this, and you're not much use to them, basically, unless they want to help new players. You're not much use to them because you're basically your alpha account. You got a rubbish ship. You don't know what you're doing, and they kind of don't want to know you. So. But my Corp can be a good stepping stone Corp. It can help get you established and in a position where you could join an null-sec Corp. So I'm going through. Also, if you're autopiloting, I got my route set to shorter. You can use it sometimes depending on where you are on the map and your route. It might try and, if you got it set to shorter, it might take you through nullsec, which you don't want because you can come across a gate camp, people basically on the gate with a bubble that stops you from warping, and they're gonna just butcher you. So you can go prefer safer, which will, it says 05 to 1, I thought it said 01. I was like, that's not so. Yeah, it's the dash, isn't it? It's 1.0 sector, which is the end of that's low sec. So 04 to 01 to 1.0 is low sec, which is, like I said, absolutely fine to travel through. It's when you start doing mining, you're at an asteroid belt or a combat anomaly, that's when you can be attacked. But if there's no one in local, there's no one to scan you and to kill you. That's why you don't want to just you can have it closed, but it's hard to notice when that number 1 goes to 2. You won't even, you're focused on whatever you're doing. It's out of your peripheral vision. You can't even see it when you're staring in the middle of the screen. But if it's there and someone pops into local, if your eyes are in the middle of the screen, it catches your eye, it catches your peripheral vision. So you're going to notice someone coming into local, and then you can, if you're doing a low sec mission, I don't recommend warping to the local station. Yeah, you're safe, but then you've just told that pirate that you're in that system for a reason, and they're gonna go jump the next system and make you feel safe again. You're gonna go back to your mission thinking, oh yeah, you're all safe, but you've just told that pirate that you're in that system for a reason. You're most likely there for a mission. So he's going to come back in 2 minutes when you feel safe again, and you get settled into your mission. He's going to come back in and he's going to warp in, jump into the system, hit his scanner, and if you haven't warped out within 10 seconds of him coming in, showing up in local, he's scanned your location. Yeah, you might be warping out at that point. but if you're still there, he can scan your exact location, and if you're at an anomaly, he doesn't even need to like analyze the signal. When you, this is another topic, but which takes so analyzing the signal when you're scanning people, it takes even longer. But if they see you at an anomaly, they technically don't need to analyze, and they know where you are in the system, and they can just warp straight to you. They won't know what ship you're in though. But if you're at one of your own missions, your personal encounter or storyline mission or whatever, it's not going to show up here. It'll be like in a random point in space where they have to analyze the signal to be able to get to your location, which buys you a bit more time. So technically, being in an anomaly or a mining bout is more dangerous in a way, because they can get to you a lot quicker.
Warp drive active.
So unless I'm like, doing high sec mission grinding or missions or whatever, I won't, you don't need it open. It's nice to have a clear screen as possible. Heck, you can even press this button down here, take a screenshot if you want, which is actually a task in rotor set sail, which brings me on to this right here. I mean, even I need to do it as well right here. And you've also got Q&A. You've got, probably shouldn't do this whilst traveling, because I'm just going to get out of that because it might mess my game up. It's okay when you're stationary, not traveling anywhere. Like, you can even go out of the game back to your main menu on your device, like this. I don't want to do it, but yeah, and come back to the game, and it won't have to reload everything if you're not moving anywhere. But if you're traveling, because it's an online game and you're updating the servers, it needs to recalibrate where you are, and it can mess up your chat and all of that. So if you go back to your main menu on your phone, for example, if you want to do that, pause your autopilot or whatever. Just be in the same area, don't move anywhere. You can move around in your general area, but not like warp anywhere, is what I mean. You can be in an anomaly and fly around, warp and orbit around and go to your main screen, come back in, and it'll be fine. I was going to say something. Yeah, your rotor set sail.
How are you feeling, pilot?
So this will, you can even get a ship somewhere. I swear it gives you a ship. Yeah, claim reward. So you can even get a free, in my case, because I'm a Mar, I get a cruiser, an Amara cruiser, which is a laser ship, armor laser ship. This Omen, it's called. Is it an Omen Navy, or is it just a normal Omen? Oh, it's just a trainer they give you, but they actually give it. It's a box, so you can choose a Vexa trainer if you want. Stabber ain't bad either. It's got good tracking. You still might need some webs, but it's better than the lasers or railguns. Missiles also will hit the targets very easily without any webs, and will hit small ships and all that, especially like medium and small missiles and torpedoes. They're great. They don't even use tracking. They just reach if they're within range. So yeah, I'm just gonna warp into my next mission. So yeah, doing these, you start off here, and what you gotta do, find a Capsuleer corporation and apply to join. Wow, there you go. You can join my corp and tick the box. you can just click that Q&A page, which I just did a second ago, tick that box, and all you got to check out the Hitchhiker's Guide to New Eden, which is just all this is easy. You can do say hi in help chat, say hi, I need a corp in help chat, and if I see it, I can link my corporation and you can join it and tick 2 boxes, and then the rest are just clicking on the Q&A page, for example. That's just, they're easy, you can tick them within 30 seconds. So yeah, first thing you want to do when you start this game is the tutorial, the advanced one and all that, and that road you got to click your AI assistant, I think it's called, yeah, and then road to set sail, and click that and click that, and you'll tick those other 2 boxes. Yeah, this here just brings you onto the other slide. Sometimes you'll have even more slots here, but I've only, you get so many of these empty slots depending on what ship you get. It'll be in relation to how many of stuff you can fit onto the ship without having to stack stuff. You can stack, if it's not activated, you can stack your missiles, and what that will do will just, they'll constantly fire and sink. If they're unstacked, they can get out of sync, and so one of them, it's quite good to have it unstacked, because they'll naturally, I need to start repairing, don't I, blimey. I need a quick whiz, but what I'm gonna do is keep everything running. I won't be long, I'll be back in a second, but when this next wave spawns, I'm just gonna activate my Nosferatu and keep my armor repairer going, and I'm pretty confident I'm not gonna die. If I do, then you get a laugh. And yeah, this is a long video, but there's a lot to go through. You can also treat this as like a bit of a podcast. You don't even have to watch it, really. In a way you kind of do, but you can also just listen. So yeah, just make sure. Right, I'll be back in a second. I'm still alive then. Whoa, I almost dropped my have a look. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So my ship is doing really well. It's the capacitor is almost full, and my armor is full, pretty much. So I can basically go AFK and not even have to worry. And I don't even have. Do I have Imperial? Yeah, it's just a Mark V Nosferatu. You know, you can probably grab some Imperial Navy ones, which are even better, from my corporation hangar. Yeah, they're quite expensive too, the Imperial Navy ones. They're about 8 million. I thought of loads of things to go through and tell you when I was relieving my bladder. So this is the final wave now, which is going to be a bit harder, but you know, I'm going to be fine. You know, especially after I take down a few rats, my armor should go up a bit more because I've got even less. I'm taking less damage because there's less NPCs shooting at me, and I can activate damage control. I mean my drone damage amplifier, put out more damage, more power. And you can even hear that armor damage alert. You can actually change what percentage of your armor it alerts you at, so you can have it to, you know, you can have it even lower if you want, but yeah, I like to keep it fairly high. So if you do lose your ship, you can go into your insurance tab. You've got to be docked though. You can see what your ship is worth. So you got the original compensation of 310 insurance points. You can buy insurance points with Plex. You get 5 insurance points for every 1 Plex, and Plex is like 7 or 8 million. So it's not that cheap to buy, but you get insurance points through the Concord Pass, any events, and maybe even through the tutorial. So the minimum, if you have more than the minimum, or it might even be if you have more than the original, then you will get the discount. You want to have your ship insured, which means you have enough insurance points to get that minimum compensation price. So you don't have, it's a big difference, isn't it? You want the discount. You will get most of your modules back, but you won't get all of them back. So have I died on any of these what's this, in a basin on by the looks of it? This is a gate gun. The gate gun shot me. I must have been a naughty boy. I got shot with the gate gun. So I had a criminal timer in low sec, and I accidentally walked to the gate, or I accidentally shot at the gate, I don't know, but the gate gun shot me. And here you'll see what's highlighted. I didn't really have many fittings, so yeah, this shows you what your ship was fitted with, and anything highlighted in green was what you lost and dropped, and in my case was an expensive faction drone worth like 150, 200, but yeah, I probably didn't pay that. I can't imagine I paid that much for it. Yeah, like 150 mil. Because there's none on the market, they tend to, the price skyrockets. Another death here in my worm. I actually got, as a pirate killed me. This is a whole fleet In fact, of people, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got jumped by a good 4 people. 5 interceptor. That's a whole full-blown fleet just come and butchered me. I was in a faction frigate in a worm, which is you ain't gonna be flying this because it's pretty expensive. Yeah, and this is all that I dropped. Everything highlighted in green was what I dropped. And then what you do is, probably here, you're on the insurance tab, when you're docked up, it'll give you an option to claim your ship back. And you can even select whether you just claim back the hull, or claim back the high slots, the hull. You can select, and the price will go down if you don't get everything back, select everything to compensate back, then there'll be even less insurance points to get back. But generally, you keep it all ticked, so you want everything pretty much back, apart from what you lost. And these pirates, what's in it for them? Well, it's whatever you drop. They don't get any risk for killing you. They just get whatever goodies, if there are any, whatever goodies that you drop, they get to loot. And yeah, that's how pirates make a living in this game. I mean, I even do it. I'm a pirate too. I still haven't compensated my worm back. What? I want that. I get a fucking 200 mil faction frigate back if I can claim this for only 200, for only 42 insurance points. Yeah, let me give you an example. I want to claim that goddamn back. But it will... I don't want it at this random station where I'm at. I want it back at base, so... Let's carry on. Let's refresh. Make sure... So you got your filter here. This top left is your filter. Hide completed jobs. Click rarity. Yeah, I got my armor repair still on, and my NOS isn't on anything, so I don't have anything here yet. But I still have this to do. You won't always get missions, you know. Look, they're called rare for a start, so you're not always. But generally, you do find something. But there's always stuff you can do if you don't have any. Stuff you can earn good ISK in. If you don't have any of these storyline encounters on refresh. So yeah, this road to set sail. I mean, what have I got to do left on it? I've actually completed it. So all I've got to do is just claim that, which I can only do at a station, and then I get my trainer, which is good, but I'm not interested in it because, you know, I got main accounts that can just buy me a ship, which is what I did. But you know, so you can get yourself a cruiser and fit it with faction modules and do exactly what I'm doing, pretty much just as effectively. You're just going to lack slightly bit more DPS. The good thing about the trainership is if you lose it, it don't really matter. It's going to be so cheap. You might even get it back for free without any insurance points needed. So yeah, check these off. I mean, it's all easy. I mean, some of them is like take a screenshot outside of a station, claim supplies in a station. I mean, you always get given supplies. Claim growth fund in station. You can claim your growth fund when you level up your tech level. You come down to the pilot growth fund, and yeah, let's say if you get to like Tech 3, Tech 4, you can claim that you get 400 insurance points. You get Plex too. So technically, look, the game gives you 5, 10, 20, 35, 55. You get, by the time you're 65, it almost gives you 170 plex and a ton of skill points, which will help you level up even faster. So yeah, when you upgrade your tech level, make sure you claim these. I didn't even realize it gives you plex. That's crazy. So, you know, the only people that complain in this game say, oh, it's all pay to win and without swiping your credit card you can't upgrade. There's no way. Well, there is, mate. Yeah? What's going on? I'm alright. Oh, right, no, I'm alright. I don't know why. You can claim all of this, yeah, all of this plex. So that's a major help, that. You can claim 1,000 skill points isn't much, but you can claim that by signing on to the Discord. So yeah, 170 plex to get your Amiga, and getting up to T5, T6 will get you most of that. Selling, I mean, you can either use the ISK you earn from selling these story scrolls in well, you can invest it in so many different ways. I guess in theory you could place buy orders on the market for really cheap, and if you get them you can sell it for way more than you bought it for. You can play the market, you know. I don't do that, but a lot of people do, and it's probably the best, most intelligent way to make money on this game. You don't even have to earn dark to get rich in this game. Technically, you can just get good. You know, start small with what you've got, invest a little bit of what you have in putting in a buy order real cheap and on an expensive item, and if you get that item you're laughing because you can sell it for however much, earn money that way, and put buy orders on more and more expensive stuff. I don't even know why I don't do that. I mean, it's pretty boring, and you've got to a lot of patience. You know, you might not be able to buy some, but you know, you just scour the market and get to know what's what, and look for really cheap buy orders available, or even sell orders. But you're going to get it even cheaper for a buy order. What I mean by buy orders is you go into the market on an item, and this tab here, you have the sell orders, which is and your buy orders. So these are people's buy orders. Ideally you want it at Jita because that's the main trade hub, and you basically just overcut the cheapest one. So see how people are ever so slightly increasing the amount. So people are buying these min-matar ship debris. That's actually quite expensive, putting a buy order on for 62,000. But hey, they sell for 200,000 or 300,000. So if you have 600 of them at 62, you're making like hundreds of millions of ISK. If he manages to buy 600 at 60,000 and sells them for 250 plus each, He's making over 100,000 ISK profit on each sale. That's hundreds of millions, you know. 600 of these debris is is a lot. Yeah, so and to put in a biodata, well, you go click here, initiate acquisition, put your price in, so yeah, 62,000, and then how many you want, like 100, and then select, you want to select Jita, and then order. It's the highest, 62 is the highest at Jita. And then look, I'm not even, you can just, once you get to the station, select the stuff, you can go AFK again, you can do whatever, you don't even have to be attending to the game to do these missions. They'll only be on some of these delivery missions. What am I doing? Was it for freedom? I can't remember. Yeah, for freedom. So you've only got to do 3 encounters. I think one of them must be a combat one. Freeing the slaves. Yeah, I'm not sure, but you know, 2 of them are probably going to be delivery missions, or maybe even just the one. But it's easy. And then the reason why I was saying, oh yeah, I didn't quite finish what I was going to say when I said after you've actually completed all of these. So you've done your whole run, you're on your last mission to tick that last whichever one it is. When you've done that, last mission, go to your encounters tab, click on story, you'll see like a yellow gold icon here. You click on that, and here you can see all the different factions, like your progression and which ones you got left to do. But basically on one of it'll just be highlight one of this, you'll see it. It'll be highlighted, and you just click it, and then you accept the mission, which doesn't actually accept a mission that you've got to go and you're gonna have to go do. What that would do when you accept it is give you that story scroll to sell in your cargo hold, or if you're in a station, it might put it in your item hangar maybe, but it's usually if you're out and about in your ship and you select and you accept the mission, it'll go to your cargo hold. But make sure you're not going to low sec and doing missions in low sec with it in your cargo hold, because if you die you could lose it. So you know, stash it somewhere safe like your base, or go and sell it at Jita. If you are completely unaware of how to find this exact station at Jita, which you're going to hear a lot about and you're going to go to a lot, it's basically the main trade hub in the game, you can search Jita, and the one you want is, yeah, so there's quite a lot of stations. You want to find the right one. It's actually this one here, Moon 4, Caldari Navy Assembly Plant. You might not remember, it's Moon 4 basically, it's the only one at Moon 4. Oh, and it has that icon here, so you know. that icon there is basically a trade hub icon. There's other trade hubs in the game, there's quite a lot, but nobody ever uses them, rarely. So this is the important one. So you're going to see this icon here, G to 4, G to Moon 4.
Docking request accepted.
And then you just click that. You can even save the location and set it, and set it as your destination. So I've just completed this next mission now, and I'm near the base. I'm near the Corp base, so I'm going to go back there. I've got it set 3 jumps away.
Autopilot.
Let's go back to base and
Undocking.
accept some of my rewards that I've gained so far and claim that road to set sail reward. I can claim this daily reward you get. This is just to upgrade your nanocores, but you probably ain't going to want to, you're not going to be dealing with that at the moment, but they're good to save up. I'm going to tell you how the fleet works if you're in a fleet. So I'm just going to, because one of my main accounts is logged in, I'm going to invite me to the fleet. Yeah, so I got an invitation to the fleet. So now this icon here will have popped up, these arrows, and if you click on that, you have the first part of the fleet window. If you click this icon again, the same looking icon again, it brings up the fleet menu, and this is the fleet commander, which is one of my main accounts. And in the squad, I mean, I can change the squad, I can rename the squads, I can have different squads for different things. It's just a basic fleet. You can see all the others in the fleet, and you can click them. You can set them as followed, which will bring them up here. There's no information on them right now yet with them. You can drag to stop following, because I'm not in the system with them. If I was in the system with them, I'd be able to, or even on grid with them, I can click them and approach them. I can send them commands and stuff. So, but if you're in the same system, there'll be an option here to warp to, and you can hold on it and swipe for range, like you can with, you know, like a lot of this stuff. You can hold on it and swipe for the range. So yeah, you wanna, depending on what you're doing, set your ranges, which just helps. It's just one click. Then you can manually do it by clicking a target either up here or from the overview. You want to get used to using an overview a lot. It's you don't even need to look at the screen. You can just use your instruments, use your overview to do everything. So I'm going to claim that road to set sail thing. This is the box for the cruiser trainers. Claim rewards. So now, as you probably figured by now, it will go to your item hangar, go to your infantry, item hangar, and I've got a ship safe as well. Oh, these are skins. Yeah, I want the Vexor one. I mean, I can put. Can I? Is it only for the trainer? It'd be good if I can put it on the ship I'm using now, wouldn't it? And then see if this is useful. Unlocking a free cruiser. It won't quite be as good as the normal cruiser I'm using now, and then there's a level up from the Vexor I'm using now, which is the Vexor Navy issue. But to get the full bonuses that the ship gives, you need advanced skills, and you need Amiga for advanced skills, so you can actually get more out of the Vexor being an alpha. I'll show you what I mean by the bonuses of the ship. So if you click the ship or go into your ship fitting, and then click back here the name of your ship, it brings up the ship info, and it will tell you want these maxed out ideally to level 5. These is like the skills. So if you've got medium drone operation level 5, you get the full bonus. So for every level you have, you get 7.5% drone damage. So every level you have, so you know, you get a nice decent bonus by the time you got into level 5. For every level you get this, extra range. So got it all maxed out. Yeah, cruiser command level. So when you're skilling, you basically want your cruiser command. You're going to want, see, it's restrictions, it's for Amigas. You want that at level 5 to get that full bonus. And then you also want to go to electronics and go to engineering and go to cruiser engineering and max that out too, because that will help with your 25% capacitor and 25% power grid. Now the power grid is how much of that, you see this yellow thing here? Well, this is your capacitor, but the power grid is like how much capacity you actually get overall, and you can multiply it and increase it. So the bar won't get any bigger, it will just have more value. And you'll be able to fit, because fitting a module has a power grid requirement, so 69 megawatt power grid requirement, and I can't fit, I don't have anything, you can't fit I couldn't fit a large energy Nosferatu on here. I wouldn't have the power grid for it. Generally cruisers fit medium sized. You can, with decent skills and rigs, see I've got you can get power grid rigs which increase your power grid, so you can fit larger modules on if you really want. Like a large armor rep instead of a medium will really boost how much you repair, because it's designed for a bigger ship, like a battle cruiser or battleship, or battleship really. But it would drain your cap. Every activation of it would just almost flatten your capacitor, so it's not really ideal. You need to fit, you're fit to cater to having a large armor rep. Like you're going to need NOS, you're going to need probably a capacitor battery in the low slot. But yeah, generally just want to keep it to medium. What I said there probably raises some questions, and it's kind of irrelevant detail right now. You can go into this icon here, which you can save your fitting. You can share to like the Corp. So if I'm like, oh, what's your fit, mate? Can you share it to the Corp chat? You can just click that share, and then choose a channel to share it at, like this, which I've just done. Or you can even go to recommended fittings, and if you're really unsure, I mean, yeah, I don't recommend following these recommended fittings that the game gives you. I mean, it's not complete. It's okay. It suits the ship, but it's not ideal. You know, it's Mark 5. You know, I'm using faction, so it's even better. And it's using webs. You're going to need webs if you're using railguns. I don't really like railguns. They require, you know, tracking, good tracking, and you need that's why it has 2 webs, because you need 2 webs for it to land on small ships. But if you're using drones and missiles, which I am, you don't need webs. You can have a Nosferatu, which helps with you won't need a capacitor battery. You can replace that battery with a damage mod, which will increase your DPS, for example, or have another armor hardener, for example. So you don't need a battery because you've got 2 NOS, which is helping your capacitor deal with the armor weapon and this and that. Yeah, there's loads of details I can get into, but okay, so I got another refresh, and I still don't have any more missions. I mean, there's always going to give you missions, but I mean the ones I want to do to carry on. Eh? Oh right, yeah. I mean, I've still got encounters I can do, but it's kind of a waste of time because the encounters you're going to want to do are the unticked ones, which are the ones in the storyline progression. I mean, all of these, you click on it, and yeah, look, but it's one I've already done. I've already done this mission, so there's no point doing it again because you know, the 4,000 ISK reward isn't. It's just a waste of time. Oh, I've got it set to beginner. Maybe. Oh right, yeah. Okay, so I had it set to beginner, and there's still the missions to unlock the story missions are still coming up. So yeah, set it to beginner. Make it that even easier for you. Like I said, you'll be able to do this. You won't need a cruiser like what I've got with all expensive fittings. Well, you don't need an expensive fitted ship to do normal or even advanced either. But to make this as easy and as quick as possible, set it to beginner, because you don't want to be grinding your normal level encounters unless it's for like Conquer Pass or mission or whatever. But there's combat anomalies, and you can farm T4 debris. So here I have a T5, a 0.5 sector system,
Autopilot,
which is high sec, and it's a T4 system, meaning it has level 4 combat anomalies in, which is on the rarer side of high sec.
drive active.
A T4 base anom in high sec is worth doing because it's very profitable, and you're in the safety of high sec. You can't be attacked by the players. There are T6 encounters here. This is a good place to farm, you know, if you've got a cruiser a little bit more established in the game. Here, well, there's safer places in low sec to farm anomalies and inquisitors, etc., than where I'm at, than where this base is at, because it's fairly close to Jita, and quite often we have pirates roaming about,
Warp drive active.
looking for targets. But if you've got a battle cruiser, or even a cruiser, like a decent, you've got a faction cruiser, which is, they're expensive though, so you're probably not looking at that right now. But if you've got a faction cruiser, you can deal with the T5 base anoms in low sec. You won't find T5 base anoms or any T5 in high sec. The lower the security you go, the higher the higher the level of system anomalies.
Warp drive active.
But you don't need to be in null sec doing T8, T10 content to make good ISK. You can do it in low sec. You can even do it in high sec if you're farming your storyline encounters, which is what this video is mainly about, as well as just a general overview and guide. Yeah, I get it, it's just one long video, unedited, but you know, there's plenty for me to be saying and to be telling you about as I go, which is what I'm doing. You can even use the filter
This docking request accepted.
of the star chart to filter. I got it set to security level at the moment. I mean, you can use it to find stations, the trade hubs, sovereignty info. So it, it's got like null sec and that, who owns what, and the different territories. And you've got opposing. You got a lot of ships destroyed in the last hour, so this will flag up. Someone's been killed or destroyed. I don't know why it's not coming up with anything. That someone's. Oh, okay. So yeah, someone's been destroyed in the last hour in this system here, which is a dangerous system. It's at war at the moment. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of that, because it's quite a new thing, that is actually. This red sword combat icon, it's fairly new to the game, but I wouldn't worry about that at the moment. Just keep away from it if anything. Unless you're looking for a fight and want some PvP, but if you're like not long started, you probably ain't gonna get very far with that. Tutorial. What have I left? What have I got left here? Okay, so I've got to complete a delivery. Either complete a delivery, reverse engineer an item, or I gotta. Okay, so I'm basically really close to mining enough ores. It's not yet completed, but it's almost pretty much full, that bar. And all I've got to do is one of two optional missions. Get bounties I'm getting close to, but if I was to grab a crappy little mining ship right now and do a bit of mining, I'd complete that and get my 10 insurance points, and then I unlock this final phase, the final one. Just give me some skill chips, which I can claim back more skill points from. You want to check here if you've got any rewards. because yeah, they can be quite good. I came here because it's a T4 system, and I'll show you what you can get on with
Undocking.
easily. So somebody's reset the base. It's probably me. So it's only at T3 at the moment, but there's always still going to be T4 anomalies that spawn, and
Warp drive active.
what will happen as you farm these anomalies, there'll be a chance at any one time for what's called an Inquisitor anomaly to spawn, where it's a bit harder, but there's higher rewards. Hey, there's... oh my god. No way. This guy's been listening to my advice. This is a fairly new Corp member that I've told him to come to this system that's near our base in Hisec and farm these debris. Hey, Sunderwind. Nice to see you farming the debris. I can't even type. Debris. Oh dear. I'm doing a video. For new members. Oh dear, blimey. New members. Yeah, for the example of farming debris in Hisec. They're more profitable. More profitable than normal encounters, unless for story mission. It's probably, yeah, encounters. It's going to be too long, isn't it? It wouldn't be too long. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to warp to another one because I'm not going to take his loot.
Warp drive active.
Well, what we're going to get here is what we're after here are these level 4 Minmatar ship debris going for. That's actually quite cheap at the moment, but still good-isk. You know, I've seen these at 400,000 a piece. Like 250, 200 tends to be. They've probably gone down the average actually. Yeah, that's 116. They really have dropped, but they will go back. It always goes up and down. And they're easy. If you're in a Vexer, they're just an absolute doddle. You don't even have to move, and most of the loot will be within 10 kilometers within your range to collect. You can even get a module in your mid slot to loot for you, but you know they cost hundreds of millions, or even a drone with 20-kilometer range to loot for you. But you know, you don't need that. It's just you gotta just go through and loot manually. Yeah, it's very easy. This is just doing this whilst you're waiting for for a unticked rare mission, basically. Yeah, and or you can join me in my fleets, and I'm doing T10 missions, and I can get you tens of millions like fast, which I like to do to help out my newer members. Yeah, I'm probably going to wrap this video up very soon because I got to get on with some things, and it's getting pretty damn long now, this video, and I've given you a very good solid idea as to what to get on with and how to make good ISK. I mean, trust me, well, you've seen the prices on the market for these storyline missions, like up to 200 million, 150 to 200 million, maybe even 120 million to sell, and you might not unlock them for the first day or two, but just persevere with them and you'll unlock probably 2 or 3 or 4 in a day. And I can pretty much guarantee you, if you play pretty solidly every day for a week, you're going to earn at least $1 billion ISK, which is an incredible amount. I used to be at T8 in a battle cruiser grinding away, and that money was crazy. Even at T8 with Alpha, with Amiga and everything in nullsec. I mean, I managed to save up for a nightmare faction battleship. But the Corp I was in at the time actually gave free Amiga, which is pretty rare. But yeah, with those growth fund rewards you get for leveling up, you get a lot of plex with that. But if you do want to spend some money, you can spend like $15 and you get an insane amount of stuff. Like a one-time buy, the Pilot Growth Fund it's called. Like, if you don't need to, but if you really want to, if you ain't got the patience, which brings me on to the mindset of playing this game. There's no rush. Don't be like, oh, I want a big capital ship, I want a battleship, because you're not going to enjoy where you're at. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy where you're at. Yeah, so if you come down to Pilot Growth Fund and buy this, I was $20, but you get 12,000. You get 1,200 plex. That's worth like 8 billion. So you can sell that, get 8 billion ISK, and you get 12,000 insurance points, which is a lot. I mean, I've only got 3,000, which is actually a decent amount. Unless you're flying big ass capital ships and all that, then yeah, you need a lot more than that. But that's a good start. 8 billion ISK. You can get yourself a faction. You can buy yourself a Amiga for a couple of months or more, and buy yourself a decent faction cruiser and fly around in a faction cruiser, living at large. Yeah, so if you got money to splash and you like the game, make sure you want to play the game and like it first. Then that's what you want to. If you're going to spend money, that's what you want to get. But it's a one-time purchase. I've never spent a penny in this game, and I got 2 T10 accounts. I got a capital ship. I got this and that. But yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of done blabbering. And this is a good start. So if you've watched this, you should have a good grounded understanding of how to earn a decent amount of ISK for Amiga within a week of your first week. And all the best to you. Yeah, cheers. Thanks for watching.